With tariffs hitting coffee imports, how one local coffee shop is trying to control costs in the face of uncertain times.
Now, staffing cuts at the federal level could affect possible upkeep at Madison's Ulbrich Gardens. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 5. We have breaking news out of Blue Mountains. Authorities have now identified the woman who died on Smoky Mountain Trail this past Monday as 54-year-old Heather Schoonover.
Deputies responded to reports of a fight between two women just before noon. Schoonover was pronounced dead at the scene. A 31-year-old woman fled, but was later caught after a short foot chase. She is currently hospitalized and is being held as a person of interest. The cause of death is still under investigation.
And also breaking at this hour, the man accused of abducting a Beaver Dam teenager has been turned in. He is now in custody here in Wisconsin. Day was arrested on April 3rd at Love's Truck Stop in Sarpy County, Nebraska, near Omaha. He was found with then 16-year-old Sophia Franklin, who is believed to be pregnant with his child. Franklin has since been reunited with her family. Now, Day is facing charges of child enticement and child abduction. Again, he has been extradited now and is in custody here in Wisconsin.
Your regular cup of joe could get more pricey under new U.S. tariffs on dozens of countries around the world.
Our Merrill Hubbard brings us to one local coffee bean store that's trying to avoid sticker shock.
Berman Coffee Traders in Middleton outsources their beans from overseas, places like Guatemala or even Colombia. But as far as the cost of imports go, there's grounds for concern over wavering tariffs.
Everything's been volatile. It's been great ups or downs.
Coffee prices have been heating up in recent years, and brewing taxes on imports could burn the bean business.
While they're actually being increased, it can be very painful for small business.
There's currently a 10% base global tariff on all U.S. coffee imports. Countries like India, Indonesia, and Vietnam are subject to even higher levies. But the Trump administration put a 90-day pause on those.
Well, it's always a juggle. It's always a juggle. Small business, it's new challenges every day. But the pricing has been very difficult to moderate.
John Berman runs his family's coffee company that started in 2002.
Yeah, I spent a long time playing with coffee beans. Wouldn't do anything else, I tell you.
The coffee craze goes beyond the Bermans.
This is a dream. The whole family is super happy right now.
Juan Sebastian Gonzalez comes from a family-owned coffee bean farm in Colombia. Now he's working alongside the Bermans.
But right now it's crazy. This idea is that I don't know what's up in the future.
He says uncertain taxes can be scary for the farmer, the seller, and ultimately the buyer.
The customer is affected. Maybe for the farmers a little bit, but finally the customer is a high price for the coffee.
While prices may not cool down, John wants buyers to understand why.
It's not your local coffee shop. It's not your local vendor, that's raising their pricing or margin. In fact, most time in here, they're probably cutting their profit to keep pricing consistent.
Reporting in Middleton, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Merrill. John Berman says Brazil is the #1 coffee producer, and the 10% tariff could boost the price of unroasted coffee by about 50 cents a pound.
Severe weather shaping up later this week. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano out on the weather patio with more details.
Yeah, we have an alert day in the forecast for Friday afternoon. But at least for right now, it has been a very, very nice day. Take a look at the current conditions. Temperatures are in the 50s, but when the sun is shining, it definitely feels a little bit nicer. And also the fact that we really aren't seeing any winds, which is a big change from yesterday. Now, we're dry right now. We're going to remain dry for about the next 24 hours with partly cloudy skies tonight, maybe some cloudier skies further southwest. Lows will be near 40 for Madison, a little bit milder further west. And as we take a look at the highs for tomorrow, it is going to be dry for much of the day, but it is going to be pretty cloudy. Highs will be in the middle to lower 60s, and then we're going to see some rain move in later in the day. Possibly not until after sunset, though, but that will lead to the possibility of severe weather Thursday night and then especially Friday afternoon. That is the better of two chances for that severe weather, and I'll talk more detail about that coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Well, it's a sign we survived another Wisconsin winter when the terrace chairs return to the Memorial Union. They're back today.
One of the many signs of warmer weather on the way. Our Tanisha Shaw live now at the Memorial Union Terrace. And Tanisha, what does the UW have planned at the terrace this summer?
Hi, Eric and Susan. They have a lot planned. Like you said, I'm here at the Memorial Union Terrace, and it feels good outside. It's not summer yet. You know, it's barely spring. It's starting to feel like spring, I would say. But take a look at all these students taking advantage of this beautiful weather. It is packed out here. They have the music. We are feeling good today, and we have more celebrations so people can feel good and celebrate here at the Memorial Union Terrace. I'm here with Madeline Carr. We're going to chit-chat about what's going on. She's from the Wisconsin Union here at UW. First of all, Madeline, tell me, there's a celebration going on Friday. What is it? How can people be a part of it?
Yeah, so the terrace chairs are just like a hallmark of being in summertime in Madison, and it's just a beloved feature of the city. We want to celebrate their return with the party we're having on Friday from 3 to 6. There's going to be everything from Bucky appearances to a fish fry to taste testing, the band's performing, we have a DJ. We really just want everyone to come out and celebrate this communal space we love so much.
So it sounds like a big, fun party. So tell me, these chairs are iconic. We know them when we see them. Tell me about how many chairs are there out here, and what's the process of getting them out here?
There's about 2,000 chairs here, give or take. That number's been consistent. It's about 22. But they are just like a quintessential part of Madison, and we keep them in a secret storage area every winter. They come out of hiding in the spring, and our staff helps. Our entire staff is a part of making that possible, from our team that physically is moving it to those that are readying all of these areas to be safe and accessible for everyone. So it's really a team effort.
Absolutely. So we're going to have more on the events because, you know, it's the party Friday, but there's going to be even more events that will be held here. So Eric and Susan, I'm going to send it back to you. And at 6, we're going to learn even more.
All right, Tunasia, big events happening.
Best view in Madison, right
is.
there.
It's a
That's
favorite
where you
spot for
wanna be.
everybody. Tunasia, thanks.
Thank you, Tunasia. Spring commencement, by the way, is just a few weeks away for UW-Madison students, and they have just announced their keynote speaker. Award-winning sports columnist Jason Gay will be delivering the commencement address on Saturday, May 10th. A 1992 graduate, Gay is a 3-time National Sports Columnist of the Year, known for his work in the Wall Street Journal, GQ, and Rolling Stone. Gay also spoke at UW's winter commencement back in 2019.
Meanwhile, UW-Madison is reporting that 26 people now have had their visas terminated. 15 current students, along with several recent alums, have held immigration documents through a period of employment authorization. Meanwhile, the national totals are around 600 students who've had their visas terminated across 90 universities. A lawsuit has been filed in federal court in Atlanta alleging that even traffic stops and dismissed cases were used as termination justification. Due to federal funding cuts from the Trump administration, local family-friendly destinations are feeling the effects.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks caught up with Olbrich Botanical Gardens about how it is being impacted.
For months now, we've seen the waves of federal funding cuts from the Trump administration, citing waste, fraud, and abuse. And this time, those cuts may impact Madison's very own Olbrich Gardens. Recently, Olbrich Botanical Gardens applied for a $250,000 grant from the Institute of Library Services and Museums. This grant would better their services to enhance the experience of garden goers in the future. However, the Trump administration cut the entire staff at IMLS, leaving no one to be able to review Olbrich's application.
While some people might feel like that was wasted time because our application is never going to be able to be reviewed because now there aren't people there to review it, it wasn't, because again, they're an institution that really sets a standard, and so that whole process really challenged us to meet with our board of directors, to meet with our staff, to understand our history, to dig into why and how we're doing things.
Olbrich will now have to make adjustments to some of their programming.
We're definitely going to have to phase back what we're able to do, of course. And I think that I want to say that we are not going to limit our goals.
And North fears the federal cuts could lead to less care towards places such as Olbrich.
Some people, they spend their last memories. They choose to come here, to be here. And I think whether it's libraries, other cultural institutions, people create a deep sense of belonging there, and that's why all this work matters.
For now, reporting in Madison, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is announcing the launch of its newest Wisconsin Fish Finder website. There you can find what local regulations are, boat launch locations, and where you can fish on the shore or on public grounds. With over 15,000 lakes and thousands of miles of rivers, this tool aims to simplify the search. It also replaces the DNR's old trout tool, which shuts down at the end of May.
Well, you're taking a live look at Lambeau Field. There's some construction going on up there. The draft next Thursday, tens of thousands of people will pour into the city for the NFL draft this year. And with that many people coming to the area, the need for security goes up, and so does the cost. Republican Representatives David Stephan and Ben Franklin proposed a budget bill that would give $1.25 million to draft day security. The money would go to area first responders, including Ashwaubenon Public Safety, the Brown County Sheriff's Office, the Green Bay Metro Fire Department, and the Green Bay Police Department.
These communities, county, are already incurring these expenses and have for, as mentioned, over a year. And what will be provided is an opportunity for them to submit their expenses for reimbursement. There are specific timeframes involved after the budget is approved that they will have to submit those expenses for reimbursement, and the state will have 60 days to turn around and give them a check.
And separately, Governor Evers included $1 million for the city of Green Bay in his state budget proposal. And don't forget, News 3 Now will be talking about the NFL draft in Wisconsin all this weekend next. I'll be joined in our team coverage by sports director Zach Hanley, along with Andrew Banstra and our Packers contributor Jason Wilde. And they'll have the sight, sounds, and strategy leading up to next week's NFL draft.
Meteorologist Jacob Montesano returns next with our complete forecast and an alert day by week's end.
And if you are among the nearly 40 million people suffering from migraines, we'll tell you about a new drug-free remedy that's being tested. That's just ahead. And another brutal day for stocks. The Dow falls almost 700 points, the Nasdaq down 516. S&P loses 121, and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
An estimated 39 million people in the U.S. suffer from migraines. It's a neurological disease with no cure, but relief could be on the horizon. Cleveland Clinic neurologist Dr. Marianne Mays is a medical advisor to My Helper, a company that has designated an investigational drug-free device that is not currently FDA approved and also called, is it Me or My Helper?
My Helper.
My Helper, okay. She's the lead author of a study researching the device that was presented last week at the American Academy of Neurology annual meeting.
47% of individuals in the study reported complete pain freedom at 2 hours compared to only 16% in the sham group. So that was quite clinically significant and exciting to see.
Dr. Mays says none of the study participants stopped the treatment due to discomfort, and she says side effects included runny nose and some nasal irritation.
And Washington lawmakers are working on economic policy as President Trump's administration continues to pursue the possibility of tariffs.
Political reporter Will Keneally caught up with Dane County Congressman Mark Pocan and has more.
It's good to see you all.
It's a rare break for members of Congress returning to their hometowns from D.C. That trip home came with frustration for Dane County Congressman Mark Pocan.
But, you know, right now, it's much like a monkey throwing its dung, is how we've done tariff policy, right? That's the real problem. There is no consistency.
Sharp words from Congressman Pocan as he spoke with reporters at his district office here in downtown Madison today, talking about how some of those trade policies would impact Wisconsinites.
You know, the number one trading partner we have is Canada for agriculture. Number two is Mexico. Number three is China. Those were the first three tariffs that came out of the gate.
This comes amid a series of economic policies the Trump administration is working toward.
You know, I've been saying for quite a while that this administration, everything they care about the most, their holy grail, is the tax cut bill.
If you think about it, we've got a massive tax bill that includes both individual side things for workers and lots of corporate things. I don't see how the long run, a year from now, the policies that we're looking at are viewed as anything other than a big positive.
Pocan says that part of the cuts that Republicans have been eyeing to fund that tax cut may be walked back in favor of pushing that money on the national debt. Reporting in Madison, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
After Congressman Pocan spoke with us in Madison, he is traveling to Monroe to hold a town hall with constituents in Greene County.
Let's get a full look at your forecast. Now we're talking alert days by weekend, by the end of the week, and Jacob Montesano has more details.
Yeah, Eric, the alert day is for Friday afternoon for the possibility of large hail and strong winds within some of the thunderstorms, and it's mainly going to be for areas east and southeast of Madison. Now, we also have the potential for severe weather for Thursday night, but we don't have an alert day in the forecast for this round of severe weather just because it will be on the lighter side of severe weather with a marginal risk for Madison and areas off to the west. But as we look at Friday, we have a slight risk for much of Rock and Jefferson County, including portions of Dodge and Greene County as well, with the marginal risk just to the north and west of that. So again, areas east and southeast of Madison have the best chance to see the potential severe weather on Friday. Now, the good news is that most of the day for Thursday should be pretty dry. We could see a few small showers and pop-up storms, but overall, we're not going to see much during the day, but after sunset, we'll see some showers and storms move through our area, and it could bring some heavy rain and still the potential of that severe weather. Like I mentioned, Madison and areas to the west have that potential for the strong storms. Most likely hazards will be large hail, and this is going to continue for the overnight hours. Early Friday morning, we could still see some of that lingering precipitation. But around sunrise Friday, we're going to get a little bit of a break from the rain before more of those showers and storms begin forming as we head into the afternoon and evening. And again, best chance of that will be for areas to the east and southeast of Madison, and the most likely hazards, large hail and maybe some strong winds. By the time we get to the evening, we'll still see some lingering showers and storms, still could see some severe weather there. But as we get closer to the overnight hours and around 9 p.m., most of that will clear out of the area. And then by Saturday morning, we're almost certainly going to be dry. So as we take a look at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, we have another chance of rain for your Easter Sunday. And right now it looks like while we're not going to see many thunderstorms, we could be seeing rain for much of the day. So that will likely impact any outdoor plans people may have for Easter. It also won't be too warm. Highs are only going to be in the middle 50s. And with the cloudy skies and the rain, certainly not going to be ideal outdoor weather. For Monday, mostly going to be in the morning. It will get better by the afternoon. Still going to see those cooler temperatures. And then after Monday, the temperatures are expected to warm back up. We'll have highs near 60 for much of next week, maybe even into the middle 60s a few days. We are also seeing a few small chances of rain, but nothing looks very concrete after the Sunday-Monday rain chance.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Next at 5, how Milwaukee County officials are reacting after 2 immigration arrests are made inside the county courthouse.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Milwaukee County officials are working to respond after 2 recent immigration arrests that happened inside the county courthouse. A Milwaukee County committee voted to move forward with a resolution to address this issue just yesterday.
They're hoping that this relieves some of the concerns from residents. Taj Mahal reports.
We have, for the first time, a president who is willing to break the law openly and defy court orders.
The Milwaukee County Judiciary Committee is calling on local officials to collaborate on safeguards and procedures amid what they're calling unprecedented concerns about U.S. immigration, customs, and enforcement. This comes after 2 men were recently arrested by ICE inside the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
We were notified literally seconds, as it pertained to the first one.
The sheriff's office says they were not notified about the second arrest at all. 4 county supervisors voted yes to the resolution Tuesday, and 1 supervisor abstained from the vote. There was also discussion and questions raised about limits to jurisdiction in these cases.
The Board of Supervisors can really just make suggestions about what we would like to happen. Does anybody have the power to say this can't happen at the courthouse?
Those questions remain, and Chairwoman Marcelia Nicholson says the resolution makes way for those conversations to be had.
You'll hear a lot about what we have the jurisdiction to do. We do have to compete with state laws. We have to compete with federal laws. But at the end of the day, we're a voice for the voiceless.
We have to make sure that as local representatives of our communities, that we make sure that we fight every single day against this unlawful administration.
The resolution will go to the full county board for a vote on April 24th.
And we'll have a final check of your first warn forecast after a short break. Well, coming up tonight, News 3 Now at 6. Hundreds took to the state capitol in the name of Child Care Advocacy Day. How organizers say they feel child care is being threatened. That's tonight, News 3 Now at 6.
Robert sent us this video through our tips email. This is a controlled burn near McKee Road on the south side of Madison. It looks a little scary, but it is a controlled situation. The City of Madison Parks and Engineering divisions are performing prescribed burns through May 31st. Now, residents within 400 feet of these sites are usually notified via a postcard prior to a controlled burn. They're conducted only under specific weather conditions to ensure safety and to minimize the impact of the smoke.
Yeah, controlled burn, but they can't control the tornado. They can't control the wind, right, Jacob? That was I assume yesterday when it was so windy, right?
Have you ever seen those clips where it's like just like a little league baseball game and like some of the dust will just randomly come off? Yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, sometimes those fire tornadoes could get very scary.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't burn stuff when it's that windy and as dry as it is.
Looks like that one fizzled out, which was good. Probably not going to see any fire tornadoes, but probably not going to see tornadoes in general. The alert day is mostly for large hail and strong winds, but we are going to see the potential for severe weather Thursday night and then Friday afternoon. And then as we get towards the weekend, it'll be a little bit cooler, kind of similar to today. It's going to warm up for Thursday and Friday. Then Sunday for Easter, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a very wet one, and it will be cooler, but warmer temperatures after that.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.